everybody, I'm David Ziser, and I'm happy to be here with you today. Today, I want to share a conversation I had with my good friend Kevin Dooley. Kevin Dooley is a world-acclaimed wildlife photographer who has been photographing wildlife around the world for many, many years. He's been leading safaris to Africa for the last 18 or 19 years, and he also leads them to India. We also shared a trip to the Galapagos Islands with him in 2019, and also up to Alaska as well to photograph the bears up there. Anyway, the conversation, many people have been asking Kevin, when are you going to come out with your book? Well, this conversation today is going to be talking about Kevin's brand new book. It's called Wild Faces and Wild Places. It's a great book with some great images. But what's really cool about this book is just the thoughts he puts along with each one of his images that he features in the book. And that's what we're going to talk about in our meeting today. So I think you'll enjoy the meeting. I think you'll enjoy his insights into his wildlife photography, how he creates his images, how he composes them, and just what he's feeling in his heart and his soul when he's pressing that shutter button. It's a fascinating conversation, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Hi, everybody. I'm David Ziser, and today I'm here with my good friend Kevin Dooley from Idubi Photo Safaris. Kevin has just published his first book, and it's an exciting series of photographs and essays that I think any photographer would really enjoy. It gives some insights on what he's thinking as he's making some of these beautiful images. The photography itself is absolutely outstanding as well. And I think it's really a nice combination of thoughtful essays and beautiful photography. What I thought we would do today is just have a conversation with Kevin, let him share some of his work with you. But before we do that, Kevin, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to visit with everybody out there. And it's going to be another great day, and looking forward to talking with you. It's always a pleasure. You know, I'm very confident the biggest mentor in my life. So it's anytime I can spend with you is a day that is a treasure for me.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, I first met Kevin, oh my gosh, it was a number of years ago. And he invited me to be part of a photo safari back in 2018, which seems like eons ago. But anyway, off we went. LaDon, my wife, and I headed to Africa. It was a great time. We ended up doing 2 safaris back to back. And what I'd like to do is just give you a taste of a little bit of what the Idubi Photo Safari experience is. And then I'm going to turn it over to Kevin and let him walk you through some of his thoughts and some of his images over this next 20 minutes or so. So let me bring my screen up, Kevin, if you don't mind.
That would be awesome.
Okay. And here we are. All right, so what I have up here right now is, I think it was our first day. It's really interesting when you go on safari with Kevin. You know, you're flying 16 hours to get there. You're trucking to the hotel lobby. You got a day or two of not really resting up, but you're on the move the next day to get up to the Lasidi Cultural Center. Then you literally get up bright and early in the morning, 6 a.m. You rush up to the Mandikwe Game Preserve, and then you're up there. And then now you're beat from the travel, from all the other stuff going on a couple of days before. And you get there, you pull in around about 1 o'clock, 1:30, and they say, okay, get your bags in the lodges. We're heading out at 3 o'clock. There is no breathing room at all. So I'm going to just take 5 minutes or less just to share a couple of images that we had our first day that we were there. The 2 rhinos that you see right here where my mouse is, and the 2 rhinos here, were day 1, about an hour after we left in that safari vehicle. That's what we saw. It was absolutely amazing. And I still remember, Kevin, I still remember your line, your remark. We're all driving to the lodge, Takato River Lodge, and we're passing some impalas and things like that. And everybody's going crazy with their cameras. And Kevin says, you're going to be so bored of those frigging impalas and by the day 3 or 4, because we saw them every day. So that was kind of funny, I thought, when we were going ahead and out there, because for all of us, we're all newbies out there, and it was so exciting to be out there in Africa for the first time, seeing animals that are usually in our American zoos for the first time. But here we are, up close and personal in the safari vehicle. So I'm just going to go through just a couple of these. Kevin, I'm saving the big 5 for you, although I think I just had 1 in there, but I'll let you talk about the big game. I'm going through some of the lesser exciting game, I guess. I will say one thing that we do is we have a beautiful sunsets in Africa, beautiful scenery to see, landscapes and everything. One of my favorite things to do, Kevin always is on my case every time I bring this up, but I love the sundowners. At the end of a dust-filled day, after bouncing around the safari vehicle for about 4 hours in the morning and another 4 hours in the afternoon and evening, the guides try to find a safe place to pull in and where we get to enjoy an adult beverage or two and a snack and just enjoy the absolute magnificent sunsets that Africa offers just about every single night. So
Yeah, do you remember, David? I think I got one of my best elephant sunsets when we were having a sundowner. Remember the elephants, like that they walked right by us?
Exactly. That was day one, evening one when we did that.
Yeah, I love the photographs we got that evening. So.
Yep, they were great. They were great. And this is basically what the sundowner looks like. You see all of us on the left side of the screen. There's Ladonna and myself, and I think Kevin's taken some of those photos and everything. So we just have a good time. It's just wonderfully relaxing, wonderfully exciting, particularly if you're in photo mode. Kevin, this is a photograph that you were talking, or the instance you were talking about. And I think this is one my wife took. I didn't take this, but she had some great images too. But what a first time experience. And you gave us all that the first time we were there. So much appreciated. I only got a few more coming up, a couple of springboks and some birds. It was funny. Ladon says, let's go shoot the birds. And you, Kevin, were not a big fan of the birds, but it turned out to be fun for everybody. We all got some good photographs there.
Actually, I must say that between you and Ladonna, I have learned to have this love of photographing birds that I never had before. And the birds in Africa are just so stunning and such a variety that I really do actually enjoy photographing them.
You know what? And one thing I enjoyed was just learning how to photograph birds. You know, the first couple of thousand photographs are out of focus or blurry. So it does take a little bit of anticipation, correct camera settings to really get some decent photographs. Another thing that you introduced us to was a school in the little town or the little village right outside the game reserve. And, you know, it was wonderful to see the kids, see how happy they were to interact with them. And every time, thanks to Kevin and Tricia, everybody that goes on safari with them brings something along for the kids. And it could be candy, but even more importantly, it could be school supplies and things like that they can use there. And the kids are wonderful. The teachers are wonderful. The headmistress is wonderful. So it's really a great experience. One of the highlights for us too. Here's just a couple photographs of just us interacting with all the kids there. So it's just great experience. So the point I'm trying to make is that I do be photo safaris isn't just about photographing animals. It's about getting to know the people of the villages. It's about getting to know about their culture and everything else along the way. So it's a wonderful experience along the way, 100%. So I'm going to finish it up with these last couple photographs. We end up at the Takato River Resort, which is a wonderful place to be. There's only 12 lodges there, which means it holds a 24 or 12 couples or 3 to a room, who knows, but there's only 12 lodges there, which really makes it up close and personal for everybody there. Again, be careful of these monkeys. As Kevin says, don't leave the door open or they will be inside eating anything you got laying around. This is the interior. You can see on the left, the beds. They got a great balcony you can sit out there. You can actually put your long lens on, take a photograph of the elephants that are actually bathing down in the river there. Just a great experience. And they are such wonderful hosts themselves with wonderful dining experiences, whether it's inside the lodge or whether it's down at one of the camps that they have. It just becomes a great experience. So I think, Kevin, with that, there we have Tricia on the termite mound. I'm going to turn it over to you and let you talk a little bit more about it. And,
you're actually killing me with all these photos, man. I want to go right now. It's funny. I've been leading safaris, even at this location. I've been leading safaris for 10 years, and I will often spend, at that specific location, several weeks a year. Approximately 5-6 weeks of my year is often spent at that location, and just seeing those images is just, oh man, I can't wait to get back.
Yeah, and even when we went back in 2020, right before COVID hit, it was so good to walk in there and the staff remembered us, and it was so good. I mean, we had made friends in 2018, and it was good to see our good friends again when we returned in 2020. So a great experience. You're right.
Absolutely. I appreciate you mentioning my book. It's interesting that a lot of my book was written from those rooms you were just showing. And I'd wake up in the morning and, as soon as the zebras start going in the morning and the birds and sometimes the lions are roaring and I start hearing that stuff, I can sometimes wake up at 4:30, 4:45 in the morning and having coffee in the room. I make some coffee, and that's one of the times that I do a lot of my writing. And one of the things I've really enjoyed about writing that book is it's not your typical photography book that's full of camera settings and things of that nature, no pun intended, nature, but it's really my thoughts on what it's like to be out there creating photographs and what I go through, just the incredible experiences that I have, and how I've learned that the actual image is just the icing on the cake. It's the experience of being out there that really, for me, is the ultimate thing about photography. And anyway, that's what I really tried to get across in my book. So,
well, I think what comes across in your books too, as I said in the essays, is how personal your feelings are that you're sharing about the experience of being there and in Africa and around all of these animals too. And I think it's a wonderful insight into your heart and your soul about how strongly you feel about all the animals that you're around, and also about the photography that you're using to make these wonderful images too.
And if people do want to get a signed copy of my book, just contact me. You can get it through Dorrance. You can get it through Amazon, but they've sold out of it. And so now it's only available in Kindle. And I don't think they'll have any more copies until, I think it's about a month or so. But you can get it through me personally. I can sign it for you, or you can order it from Dorrance Publishing. That's Dorrance Publishing. So,
okay, great. Hey, you want to share some of the images from the book?
Yeah, actually, I made a little slideshow for you that has got images from the book, as well as just sort of an overall variety of images and a few of the things that I've written. So I would share that with you. And let me just hit the share screen. And this slideshow is actually a nice slideshow because it's not just one location. It's really sort of an accumulation or a lot of my images from different locations and things that I like to talk about.
There you go.
All right. there we go. Yeah, the thing about it is I think my whole philosophy about wildlife photography and going on safari is, you know, here on Earth we may only have one life, or we only have one life here on Earth, and there's so many just incredible things to experience and to live through and enjoy and feel and photograph. And the nice thing about going on African safari is it's one of the most incredible experiences where you can sort of put a lot of those feelings and opportunities into the same package and experience pardon me, a lifetime of feelings and emotions in just over, a 9-day period of time. And obviously, as you and I both know, the food, the friendships that we make, the just everything about being on safari is one of the most ultimate experiences you can have in your life. And sharing it with loved ones, sharing it with good friends, and having memories that you can take with you for the rest of your life is something that is just so valuable and incredible in my humble opinion.
Well, I think LaDonna and I would both agree with you, as would I think everybody that's been on the number of safaris that we've been on together with you and with everybody else that's been there. I think you're right. It's something that, even as people consider booking a safari, some of our friends, some of our family members who are booked for future safaris with you, they have said, you know what, I've always wanted to do it. But you know what, when people say I've always wanted to do it, it's like way, way out there. And now they can do it. Now it's within reach. They can almost smell the experience. And it's fun to see people come to that kind of a realization. I remember we had some friends at one time. They said, you know what, you and LaDon go on all these adventures, and we go on some trips, but we're looking for an adventure in our life. We want to go on an adventure with you guys, which they eventually signed up for one of the I Do Be Photo Safari seminars, and it was, or a workshop rather. So I think that's what people do when they think about it. But then when they go over the edge and now they're going to be part of it, they just get more excited.
Absolutely. And particularly for photographers, there are a lot of different types of safaris that you can actually go on. But a photographic safari, which is designed around photographers and even family members that are with photographers, is a very different type of safari than your average safari, and so we concentrate on getting in really close to the animals. We concentrate on spending more time with the animals, on not being crowded and not dealing with, groups of people coming up in vehicles that we don't know and making noise and dust. And so it's a very personal experience that our group does together. And one of my favorite things, that is when we pack our breakfast and our lunch and we go out for that all day, experience where we go out and spend time with the elephants that are swimming. And, our South Africa safari is one of the few places I know where you can actually sometimes encounter over 150 elephants all swimming together like a big pool party. And It's just, oh my God. Well, you've seen it.
Yeah.
What an experience. My God.
Yeah, it really is. It really, and the other thing that struck me too, well, I think it was, I don't know if it was 2020 or 2018, was we were watching everybody at their pool party, and now they've had their fun in the sun, and then we see the other group of elephants coming over it's going to be their turn to jump into the pool. And I remember as the one group was leaving and the other group was coming up, it's like they were talking to each other, communicating with each other somehow, saying, hey, you guys are going to love it. The water's fine. It's all yours. We're heading out of here. So go enjoy. You could almost hear those kinds of words because they stopped, they paused, they were doing their thing and everything. And you could, for me, it was like they were just telling each other, enjoy the water and enjoy the rest of the day. It was just fun to kind of feel that with those huge, beautiful animals out there.
Well, elephants are actually very social animals. And They do. The different herds do communicate with each other, and through that communication, through their sense of smell, that's how they know which herds are there and how they sort of trade out places. They realize they all need water. They need to get that mud on their bodies to work as a sunscreen to keep the insects off, and they work together. They team up, even though they're not in the same herd. They work with each other to make sure that all the herds remain healthy. And it's an amazing, amazing thing to see that.
It really is. And a couple other things for me too, and you can reflect on it, but I still remember one of the early days we went out there, and now there's only 6 people in the safari vehicle. I shouldn't say 6, there's about 8, but there's 6 of us participants. We're in, everybody's got a window seat, which means it seats 3, but there's only one on the left side, one on the right side. There are no windows. It's all open air vehicle, but you're driving along and then you start chasing a lion through the bush. It's like, wait a minute, what about don't wake sleeping babies or sleeping dogs? And we're waking the sleeping lion so we get a better shot of him. And when he's like from you to about 20 feet away and he's staring you down, it's like, first time that happened to me, I was getting the goosebumps on my body. But after you do it for a while, it's an adventure, and it's exciting to get those photographs too. So there's so many first time experiences. I can't wait for hopefully many of our viewers here to get a chance to experience that kind of life experience as well.
Yeah, and it's funny that no matter how hard you try, you can't really explain to people what it's truly like to be there. And right before you and I got onto this meeting with each other, I had a call from somebody who went with us to South Africa last year and just signed up to go with us to Botswana, not this April, but April of 2022. And she said that, I just have to thank you that you changed my life forever. She said, the things that you guys taught us about these animals and the opportunities to spend time with them and the discussions we had and the meals we had and visiting the villages and the people and the entire experience changed me forever, is what she said to me. She said, you have literally turned my life around and I cannot wait to go again. And even though I go so frequently, I run into the same thing for myself. Every time I go, it's a new life-giving experience that just stays with me forever. It's improved my life so much by being in Africa, by seeing these animals. You can see them on TV, but it's not the same thing when you can almost reach out and touch them. You can smell them. You can feel the heat of an elephant radiating off its body as it walks past the safari vehicle. You're right there. You're feeling it. You're touching it, and it's the truth. It's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. Hey, we just have a few more minutes to wrap up. Why don't you just say a little about some of the upcoming trips? Why don't we give us some more information on the book, where we can contact you, or where we can get the book as well then?
Well, you can find me on my website, which is idubePhotosafaris.com. It's IDUBE photo, PHOTO, safaris.com. Again, it's idubePhotosafaris.com. You can call me personally at 505-401-2988. Again, that's 505-401-2988. And if I don't answer, just leave me a message and I'll call you back. We can get you sorted out if you would like to get a book that way. I shouldn't say sorted out, that's an African term, but we can get you taken care of. If you want to order a personalized book from me, I can also give you the website where you can order the book online as well. Like I say, it's a while before Amazon will have it. Again, I'd love to hear from you, even just to shoot the bull, 505-401-2988. As far as safaris go, basically, we've got, I think, 2 available spots for the safari you're going on in April of 2022. And I've got a couple of spots for July this year in Alaska. And I just filled Botswana of April of 2022, but I do have a few spots available for South Africa in 2022. And again, on your safari in Botswana 2022, I have 1 or 2 rooms still available. So Most of our trips are sort of like 80 to 90% full, but we do have a few rooms here and there that we can still accommodate people on. And this fall, I believe we are sold out on everything, but starting in the spring of 2022, we do still have some openings.
Okay, great, great. Well, thanks for
So
giving us the information on the upcoming safaris. It sounds like I know we're all ready to kind of break out of our homes here and get on the road again. So
we
I
are.
think and you're offering an opportunity of getting on the road in a super exciting way. So I'm glad it's all set. I'm glad schedules are looking good for you too. So hey, Kevin, I appreciate you being here this morning, this afternoon, depending on which part of the world we're in. But I appreciate you being here and talking about the book a little bit, sharing some of your beautiful images, and look forward to doing this again sometime real soon.
Pleasure's all mine. Anytime I can spend time with you, I know it's a good day.
Thank you so much. All right, Kevin. Hey, thanks everybody for being here. Again, I'll have the information as part of the video here to contact Kevin about the book, about the upcoming safaris and everything too. So thanks again, everybody, for being here, and we'll see everybody real soon. Bye-bye now. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Kevin today. Kevin heads up Dooley Photo Safaris and leads safaris, as I said, around the world. He has several coming up for 2021 and several more already scheduled for 2022. Although we spent in 2018, we did 2 photo safaris with Kevin to Africa and got some amazing images. In 2019, we went to the Galapagos Islands, as I mentioned, got some other images, and we're also scheduled in 2022 for 2 more safaris over in Africa. I hope you'll check out the information below regarding more information about Kevin's safaris, and I hope you'll check out the information on our upcoming safaris as well. Anyway, folks, thanks for being here today, and I look forward to seeing everybody real soon. Bye-bye now.